أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Sayyid Farhad Ali with you. I got a little free time in the hospital, and I'm recording this lecture for my students because most of my students have texted me to guide us like what should we do before fourth semester and after fourth semester in the bachelor in the field of radiology. So I will split the lecture into two parts. One, and now the lecture which I'm recording is for those students who are enrolled in the bachelor radiology, but from first semester to the fourth semester. And this time, the big mistake which we are doing when we enter to the university in the first semester, we are searching where should we start the practicals. We are not focusing on the clinical part of our field. This is the major, I will say this is a huge mistake which we are doing in this time. When we enter to the university, I will tell you, even from the first semester to the fourth semester, we should go to the hospital. But I will tell you what's the exact time at which we have to go to the hospital for the clinical rotation, and what's the mistake we are doing, and what's the mistake our hospitals or our university are doing, like not giving us the practicals before fourth semester. In the first semester of radiology, the most important subjects from the first semester to the fourth semester is, first one is the anatomy. The anatomy is split into two parts, not in two, I'll say in four parts. The first is the human anatomy first, number second is the human anatomy second, third is the regional and radiological anatomy, and the fourth is the regional and radiological anatomy first and the regional and radiological anatomy second. The first two semesters, the most important subject, all are very important, but for as radiology students, the most important subject is the anatomy. You should have to focus on the anatomy. You should know the anatomy. The anatomy is divided like in the head and neck region, the thoracic wall, thoracic cavity, abdominal wall, abdominal cavity, pelvic wall, pelvic cavity, and the upper limbs and the lower limbs. These are the sections in which the anatomy has been divided. This is the first thing. This is the first semester and the second semester, the most important subject which the radiological students should have to focus on. And the third semester, the anatomy is a little bit different from the first semester. That's been added like the regional and radiological anatomy first, and in the fourth semester, regional and radiological anatomy second. In the third semester and the fourth semester, the mistake which the teachers are doing. What is the mistake? In the third semester and the fourth semester, the teachers are repeating the same anatomy which we have learned in the first semester and the second semester. And also the students are not asking what's the difference between the first two anatomies which we have learned in the first semester and the second semester, and then we are studying in the third and the fourth semester. In the second and the first semester, we learn the general things about the anatomy. All the body anatomy we have learned in the first and second semester. In the third and fourth, now we will compare our anatomy with radiological part. How the anatomy looks like. Suppose this is hand, this is upper limb, this is a lower limb, many parts of the upper lower limb, the head and neck. Now how these parts, this anatomy will appear on the radiograph. Suppose the chest, we will focus on the chest. We learn about the chest the thoracic wall and the thoracic cavity, okay? The organs inside. But now in the third semester and the fourth, how it will appear on the radiograph. So the teachers must show the students the normal and the abnormal x-rays of every part of the body in the third and the fourth semester. This is the most important thing. The teachers should have to show them the CT images and the X-ray images, and little bit, if they touch little bit MRI, it's good for the students. But they should have to show them the CT scan images of each of the body part, little bit, not more, but full command on the X-ray, general radiography, have the body organs appear on the radiograph what's normal, what's abnormal, what the fractures, the chest abnormalities. And the third and the second, fourth semester, no, the chest, the abdomen, the pelvis, the upper and lower limb, the fractures, the masses, the tumors, like how these pathologies appearing on the radiograph, and what's the normal and abnormal. This is the third and fourth semester. Okay, other important subjects are general radiology, radiation science and technology. This is an important one. Radiation science and technology, like a treasure of knowledge in this one book. Conventional radiological procedure and clinical practice. Now, this is the main thing. When you come to the conventional radiological procedure and clinical practice, now look over here. Why they added the clinical practice? Clinical practice, and the university, you should study conventional radiological procedures. What the procedures we are doing conventionally, like barium procedure, barium swallow, barium meal, barium follow through, barium enema. More of the procedures are in these books. You learn here, and in this time you should have to go to the hospital to see by your eyes, to look and watch by your eyes how the procedure is going, and practically. The big mistake which our university are doing, and this is the subject, I think, in the third or in the fourth semester now, I don't know exactly, but I think in the third semester, the university should allow the students to go to the concerned hospital, like they signed MOU with which hospital, whatever, I don't know, with it's depending on the universities. Okay, so the students must go to the hospital to see the procedures practically. This is the first thing. Another is radiological positioning and clinical practice. Here also mentioned clinical practice. In the clinical practice, they should go to the hospital. These are the subjects before fourth semester. Okay, so in the conventional radiological procedure and clinical practice, and another one is radiological position and clinical practice. In these two subjects, when they are learning, in the meanwhile, they should have a visit to the hospital to see the procedures and the positioning by their own eyes. This will be really improving the theoretical and practical knowledge of the students. I'm teaching to the students how I will position the patient for the chest X-ray, but this is like a blind thing, not in practical. In theory side, I am only teaching to the students. But if I teach in a good way to the students how you will position the patient, how much will be the source to image distance, how much will be the FOV, how much will be the collimations, these all things, how I will position the patient. If I teach the students theoretically, and in the next day or in the next week I took the student to the hospital, then they will see by their own eyes and they will observe. So the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge mixed. This will be saved in their minds for the rest of the life. After that, conventional radiography and digital radiography. Now you entered in the field. This is the what we can say. This is the subjects which are related to the field. Okay, so CR and GR. What's the difference between conventional radiography and digital radiography? You will teach the students only the theory in the university or in the college, but that you should have to take the students. This is for the teachers. That have to, for the university, they should have to take their students to the hospital to see to show them practically. This is the CR, this is the GR, this is the cassette, this is the reader. In which modality we are using the cassette, in which we are not using the reader, this and that. I will not go in a detail in the difference between the CR and DR. So this is the one thing. And after that, radiology, radiobiology, and radiation protection. How we will protect ourselves, the patients, and the professional people from the radiation. And radiobiology, and that's about the body. So in these two subjects, the teachers have to take the students to the hospital. One is the conventional radiological procedure and clinical practice. Other is radiological positioning and clinical practice. This is for the teacher, and for the students, they should not jump directly to the practicals in the first semester. I have to go to the hospital to see. No, this is a huge mistake which the students are doing. And the other thing I little bit explain, and inshallah in the next lecture I will record some good. I will give you a good tips after from fourth semester to the eighth semester, and in the third lecture will be regarding the how we will do after graduation. So I'll say goodbye. That's enough for that today. Thank you so much.